the Ymir and Artemis combo, which will be very fun to play against, I am sure, for their enemies. Once again, I remind you, this is the last game of the night. Will we see it played all the way through? Or will they surrender? Who knows? Lots of lag here. That's always good to see. Artemis is going to be up against these two here. And we have Anubis in mid hanging out. Pings everywhere. Plenty of pinging goodness for the world to see. Epic Pandaren will be playing as Chong, who has a lot of harass and a lot of heal. He's a very effective ganker, as he is able to close distance and really pop you for some good damage. Using some taunts here. Oh no. They're hitting each other. You should be friends. Thanatos hanging out with Loki. Loki very strong in the jungle, as he's able to be very mobile, and he can turn invisible and be on you so fast you won't even know he's on you, and it'll hurt, and then you die. That's generally how it works. Blue buff will be taken here. Not sure who's taking it. Probably will be given to Artemis. But whoever takes it is going to be the harasser of the lane. Yeah, it's that simple. Artemis does very good with blue buff, as she's able to throw down a bunch of traps for everyone to walk onto, which is lovely for them. Spiked gauntlet purchased first here, and a tiny trinket onto the Anubis. Grabbing some early experience here. Anubis and Apollo will be trying to get ahead for each of their lanes, as having more experience is a good thing. Scylla hanging out. She does not have a lot of HP. Looks like she tanked a little bit more than she wanted to. And now the laning phase begins for mid. Right-hand lane still hanging out in the jungle, and Thanatos is not in the jungle. They do not have a jungler. Either that or he has decided to not be a jungle Thanatos, which is very interesting. We will see how that works. It's probably because neither side has a jungler, so there will be no jungles. Here's a little bit of healing, a little bit of damage, a little bit of protection, a little bit of fun to be had. Whenever you see that little dancing Loki that happens every now and then, that is to actually make the enemy minions attack it, so that they don't attack him or the other minions. It can be very good for ganks, obviously. High mobility versus very, very strong CC. These guys will stop you cold. Pun intended. Artemis wants that kill. She ends up missing the volley, though. A little too quick on the draw there, but that's okay. Artemis will be able to bring this back, no problem. Mookips, I have plenty of faith in as a player to turn that around and adjust accordingly. We'll start seeing more kills. More harassment here from Ymir, and there's that volley I wanted to see. Everything hitting right on target. That is great. We are going to see pings. Pings, which are things that you don't normally see. Yeah, that's right. I rhymed. It was not on accident. So don't pretend that it was, because it wasn't. There's a nice little ward placement there. That's going to be good for the future. Ward's always important, and in comes Ymir here. Does he think he has a kill? Maybe. Apollo has a pretty hard time against these two. If he gets stunned, CyberX's AD carry will be dead, for the lack of better terms to describe him. Thanatos is going to start going into the jungle and roaming, which is good. That's what he needs to do. Especially with left-hand lane being so low. Thanatos, especially at level 6, becomes very dangerous when you are low. Chong will continue to get himself some kills and last hits and some harassment off, doing plenty of damage for himself. The Epic Pandaren, strong personality in our league here. Luna XY getting kind of caught out here. She's getting very low. She's stuck between the wall, and she does go down. Mookips with the kill. Maybe thinking about getting that Apollo if he's not careful. One quick stun and that Apollo is dead. So we will see if they will be able to do that with a quick... Oh, she wants it. She wants it, but she can't quite get it. He is just barely too high. In comes Loki, but Loki's only level 4. He needs to get to level 6 if he really wants to scare them. I'm sure he's very surprised that the enemies did not immediately run away. Apollo is well within kill range for Artemis here. One quick volley and an auto attack, and he's dead, so he will be playing accordingly. In comes the next couple kills here. Scylla is over level for her ultimate, and there is another quick level up for Thanatos. Now we have two very dangerous ultimates here. Scylla grabbing a kill with her ult at first, but I don't think that she actually got the killing blow with it, so she wasn't able to steal the next kill. Thanatos, though, able to get to level 6 off his kill, which will allow him to really start ganking. You will see. If you haven't seen a Thanatos gank before, you will notice that he goes up into the air, and then he lands, and then people die. That is a Thanatos gank in a nutshell. Hell, kind of getting caught a little bit here, but she's able to heal herself very well. She does get stunned. Thanatos comes in. Where's your HP? There is the mark. He's going to go up in the sky, and there is the kill. That's what I'm talking about right there. Flies in, gets the kill, and now he's going to get out. Chong going to take some of those turret hits. He can take it. He's fine. Mid lane ends up getting killed by the... his name is Anubis. I, for some reason, forgot. We're going to maybe see an initiation here. I don't think so, though. Thanatos, if he ends up getting caught, will go down here. This is pretty high tension. We're going to follow the Loki. Loki sees it. He sees the opportunity, but I don't know if he's going to be able to close the distance. He doesn't have his 6th level. He doesn't have that ultimate gap close that he really needs. So even with Thanatos so low, it's going to be pretty hard for them to really do anything. There is the grab, able to get the stun. There's the Loki ult. That's what I'm talking about. Jumps right in, does what he needs to do, and he's going to try to get out. He doesn't quite have the damage that he needs. He needs to get that level 6, get that level 2 and his 3. Chong coming out here, going to try to keep his friend alive, but Anubis just proves to be a little bit too much with his damage for that to happen for him. Not looking good for our friend Chong here. Epic Pandaren going to have to run away, but he has so much heal. He has so much CC. Oh man, they are really chasing him down. They really want it, but they just can't quite get to him. He just barely stays alive. Gets over to Thanatos. I'm not sure if Thanatos is going to be able to... Oh, we're in stasis mode. There has been a pause. Either that or the game has had a problem. We're in stasis mode. Stasising. Stasised out. Stasis. People are running in place. Why are we in stasis mode? Did the game disconnect? No. Gonna fly around here. What's the problem? Okay. Still in stasis. I think it's because someone disconnected and they're waiting for them to come back. CyberX is moving in here on Mookips. Maybe thinking about getting some auto attacks off. As you can see, these minions are very low on HP, so we're going to pow, pow, pow. If need. Why are we still in stasis? Stop it. Scylla not in the best position right now. One quick stun and she's in big trouble, especially with Loki coming in here. You can see that there's a whole lot of fun to be had. Oh, stasis mode has ended. In comes Loki. Loki wants this kill. Scylla ults. There is the last hit. She can do it again. She misses the second one. That is a shame. Loki going to get stunned, but I don't think that anything is going to be coming of it. Thanatos gets out of there using his ult, but in comes Apollo for the last hit, using his To the Skies to close the distance. Does not end up getting last hit by the turret, but in comes Scylla. She doesn't have her ultimate. Not sure if she's going to have enough damage to really do much with it. Absolute zero popped here, or the cold zone, or the place you don't want to be standing when it goes off zone. And that was able to save his teammate. Fear of damage. Saving Asclepius Gaming from losing another teammate. Hand of the Gods or Fist of the Gods or whatever you want to call it. I believe that right now it's Rage of the Gods because it's level 2. Being used there to secure the last hit on that mob in the jungle. Mid lane going to be fought here. She's getting heavily cornered. Anubis almost getting the kill, but she was able to get away using her sentinel to dash away. Now she's going back to base. Thanatos is in the area. Not sure if he's going to be pushing the lane for her as he's going to the speed camp. This is going to be very good for Thanatos as this will allow him to get where he needs. Here in this game, you don't have to worry about stealing your friend's buffs as you actually pick up the buff off the ground. Not sure if Anubis has any idea that there's a Thanatos behind him, but he's going to find out the fun way as he does close the distance, gets the silence, and now Anubis is kind of cornered here between a rock and a hard place. Scylla misses her big attack. That is a shame. And now in comes Loki. This could be turned around pretty quickly, but Thanatos' damage is just so high. There is the first kill, and now we're going to see the boar come in to maybe secure the second one. Thanatos is up in the air. He's going to dive in, do some good damage. CyberX really getting caught out here in the jungle. They're trying to get some kills out of it, and he does end up getting revenge on Thanatos. Double kill for the Apollo. Trying to run away. He does have plenty of abilities to get away, but he does not quite run as fast as them. And now he's able to mesmerize them, but he gets stunned on his own. And that's going to probably be the end for Norialis. For Norialius. Or Norialis. Yes, Norialis. There is no I. The font confused me. And now they want Gold Fury, which is a good decision. Amir is going to probably be able to tank it, I hope. Now Artemis is going to tank it. Definitely going to be able to tank it. She has plenty of HP to do it. There is the Gold Fury. Excellent job by AsclepiusGaming. Good job there. Taking the advantage. Getting that extra gold. Take a look at the gold up here. 4,000 in the lead. That is a good time. Not good for the enemy, but it's good for you. 8 minutes in here, we're going to see Hell attempting to fight Chong. But Chong can just take those hits, and he can just regen it back. So much staying power within Chong. He's so good at the 1v1 lane because of that. He's like a more tanky version of Ra when it comes to how much he can heal and how much he can hit. But his ultimate isn't quite as heavy damaging as Ra's. So Ra's a little bit squishier than him. Scylla going to continue pushing out the lane here. Maybe Amir was thinking about going in, but he did not end up doing so. He does have Blink, so he is still dangerous. Apollo going to come in a little bit too far, and he's going to get stunned. There's the wall. Where's the stun? Oh, there it is. Excellent stun. Will we see the boar go off? I don't think that. Yes, there it is. Big damage coming in on Apollo. He does get taken out by the boar. Athena just a little bit too late to save him, and I think that Athena will be the next casualty here. CyberX having some trouble keeping their lanes alive now. They're going to have to get some counter ganks going if they want to bring this game back into their favor. Blue team starting to take control. AsclepiusGaming, not to be underestimated in this tournament, a very good team. And CyberX, a good team in their own right as well. They're just kind of getting caught here. They're going to have to synchronize a little bit more, and then they will be okay. They have to get those ganks going for Loki, though. Loki's going to get further and further behind as he isn't getting these kills. In he goes. He is invisible. He's going to go after Thanatos, who goes up into the air. And now it doesn't look good. Yeah, he's dead. Gets blown up by Amir, and they attempted to grab the Scylla in response, but her teammates were right on top of it, and she survives because of it. Excellent wall, but he misses the stun. Chong coming in. Eye detection's kind of getting cornered here. Not looking good, even though you're Hell. I mean, it's pretty hard to stay alive through all of that, but Athena's going to come in, get some fears off. Chong's going to go after the Hell here, and it looks like eye detections might be taken out. Oh, but he gets the big heal with the Nova. And maybe Apollo looking for a kill. He does dive in. Apollo almost last hits him. One more hit, and that is going to be a dead Chong. However, Hell does not escape. And it looks like the Thanatos is going to have a hard time escaping. But maybe he doesn't want to, as he does get a kill on Apollo. But Athena able to get away. Amir with that BM teleport away, but it was probably a mistake. And now he might be going for the stun. But he used his blink to run away, so he can't really close the distance. He does get the wall off, but he does not get the stun. Uh-oh, speaking of stuns, there it is! Anubis with a kill, probably. There it is. The Locust Swarm getting the last hit there for him. Excellent play by Anubis. Right at the right time. Perfect. Perfection. Wonderful. You couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. Yeah, he's hopping out of victory, I'm sure. That's going to give him a good opportunity to push this lane. Losing a tank like that is pretty big. especially one with as strong of an initiation as Amir. So killing Amir is very good for their team, because then they can control the team fight. So that's a very good catch for the Anubis to have. Thanatos grabbing some of these experience minions in the jungle here. Big pushes. Thanatos goes up. What is he thinking? What's his idea? He's going in on eye detections. Not sure if I agree with that. Now the rest of the team is up on top of him. He's getting feared. He's getting attacked. Anubis zoning out the enemies, and he actually gets a double kill, 2 for 1. Chong goes in and he wants to get some revenge. He's doing plenty of damage on his own. There's the Moo Kips carrying it all the way. Big damage all over the place. CyberX was able to get some good kills in there, but now you see AsclepiusGaming coming in here in an attempt to take out this tower. They have plenty of tankiness here. Look at all that damage that the Artemis is putting down. This could be a mid-turret, and I definitely think it is. A surrender vote has started. Not sure why they're surrendering. This game isn't even close to over. They're very close. Although it's 8-17, the team fights are actually pretty close. They're doing okay. But blue team is definitely ahead. No doubt about it. I'm not going to deny the obvious facts here, but some good team fights can put them right back in. Wow, what a dodge. You see him dodge that auto attack? That was great. Anubis really showing that he can predict you. He knows your next move. Apollo getting a little careless. He has to be a little more careful right now. They are not ahead. They cannot be too careless in their lanes. Athena thinking about doing something nasty as we wait for the next fight. They're going to fight at the Gold Fury. Athena wants in. And there's the stun getting both of them as they continue to fight here. The Wrath of the Gods able to get the last hit. There is a snare by the Scylla, and they are going to go all in on Athena, which is good for the CyberX team. In comes Apollo. Big ultimate in. Able to pop some people up into the air, but Mookips turning this around pretty quickly. Snowballer getting a quick kill on Mookips. Oh, man, everybody's dying. Everybody's dead. Oh, Thanatos with the big plays. MVP right there. Turning that team fight around by himself. And now it looks like him and Scylla are going to clean up the rest of CyberX, and that could be the end. But Apollo's got his sprint, so he's going to run away. Maybe oh, what a shot! Scylla getting the last hit with her snare. Good job by Scylla, cleaning up the unofficial deicide. That was a great fight. That was crazy. Everybody and their brother all over the place in that fight. Everybody pretty much dying at the same time. Thanatos really doing some big damage to his enemies. You cannot let him just sit back and attack. He does too much damage. When you put on top of that the amount of AoE damage that Scylla has, you've got yourself a pretty dangerous combination in team fights, which is why they died so quickly. Now Scylla is going after additional damage on top of her damage that she already has, which I'm sure is going to make her teammates ecstatic, and the enemies even more happy. Scylla oh my god! Scylla sends out those big blasts, and oh man, does that hurt. Scylla getting kind of caught here, but I think that she feels pretty confident that she's able to fend them off, especially if her ultimate's off cooldown. Waiting on the next fight. CyberX is positioning. Who knows what he has in mind. This entire team kind of thinking here. Artemis coming in from the side. Mookips kind of getting caught here if they're not careful. Hell going to do a little bit of damage. And then she realizes, oh Jesus, and then dead. That's what happened. Okay, what happened to my camera? We're back in this. We're back in the mix. Thanatos with a double kill. He is really, really snowballing right now. And there it is. He misses his main attack, but it looks like the Anubis kind of panicked, slapped on his ultimate, and just got popped in response. BRB uninstalling. Oh boy. Scylla with some big pressure. That's one thing that AsclepiusGaming is really good at right now. They can really pressure you underneath the lovely turrets. No, you're playing. Lots of trash talk going on in the chat right now. Lots of fun to be had for everybody. Copy that. 10-4. We talk shit to each other every day. And that is part of the fun of being in competitive gaming, I must remind our viewers here. Talking a little bit of crap to each other. Good amount of damage being sent out from Mookips, and it looks like Athena's maybe thinking about setting something up. Scylla comes in, misses her big damage there. That's a shame. Big pop. Oh, there's the stun, but I don't know if CyberX is in a good position right here. Epic Panda getting the first kill. Thanatos comes in for the second kill, and we're going to probably see Athena go down next if she's not careful. We've got Apollo hanging out over here all by himself, but I don't think that that's going to be any good for them. Great initiation by AsclepiusGaming. CyberX having a hard time responding right now. Oh my god, where'd your HP go, man? Apollo with his sprint being popped once again. He's being very good at kiting, but oh, there's the stun, and there's the kill, and there's the surrender. 17 minutes, 12 seconds, and we've got ourselves a 1 game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the third game of the night.